Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me here on the Quick Talk podcast. My name is Joshua Latimer, and I do my best to deliver you value and relevant information that you can apply to your business the minute after you listen to this show. But today, I'm on a roll here. I'm continuing my mini interviews with all of the huge convention presenters for the 2016 huge convention in Washington, D.C. Today, I have my friend Howard Partridge on the line. Lots of you guys know who he is. He's made a huge impact last year. He's a dynamic, very successful, humble guy. I really look up to Howard. He has a lot to offer. Howard, how the heck are you?
Well, I'm doing phenomenal, of course, Josh.
Of course. I had a feeling you might say that. But,
Right.
in regards to people that might not know you as well, can you give us like a brief nutshell version of who you are and a little bit of your background?
Yep, you bet. Grew up poor, grew up on welfare, got kicked out of the house when I was 18 years old, showed up in Houston, Texas with 25 cents in my pocket, became a waiter, and I started my first business out of the trunk of my car when I was a waiter, struggled for 13 years, read The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, changed my business, changed my life. Grew a multi-million-dollar business that became a turnkey business, which is a cleaning business, by the way, and still own it today. We did $3.25 million last year, and about 20 years ago, started helping small business owners build their business, and got about 40 team members all together, including my coaches and the different people that work with me. I've owned 9 small businesses altogether. So what I do now is I coach small business owners in over 100 different industries, myself and my team all over the world.
And that is a true statement. I mean, what's really cool is the whole 25 cent in your pocket thing. I mean, God has a sense of humor sometimes, and it's unbelievable that you go from in a new state, I believe, all by yourself with a quarter, 25 cents in your pocket, and you somehow traverse your way to have this turnkey system, because your business in Texas is really, really cool. I've seen videos on it. Everything's so clean and organized. You have a full staff. The cubicles, you got all your operations department. There's trucks all over the place. You guys are doing huge revenue. But that didn't create itself, and all the blessings you've had, I mean, are a blessing for sure. But I guess my point is you had to put a lot of hard work into building that thing and have a lot of pain and struggles along the way. What are you going to be talking about at the convention to kind of speak to some of the people that don't have a $3 million business, that don't have, all these other things going on yet? Give us some insight.
Yeah, you bet. So the thing is that most small businesses stay small, and you don't have to get really big either, but the thing is that you cannot do everything yourself. If you think about all the different things that have to happen, you got to market your business, you got to make the sale, you got to do the work, you got to count the money, you got to do the books, you got to. There's a lot of stuff that has to be done. So what I'm going to do at the convention is to share with people how to build a phenomenal dream team, how to attract people to your company and to yourself, how to be a better leader, how to get, whether it's just, one part-time person or whether you need to build a whole team and you want to get really big. It doesn't matter whether you want to be big or small. The fact is that we can't do it all ourselves. So I started out just getting a helper, just getting an assistant. And then I got up to 7 employees, and then I kept building from there, and now, as I mentioned earlier, I've got 40 team members. But the key is understanding how to lead them. So I'm going to teach you guys how to communicate with them, what kind of people you're looking for, why they would want to come to work for you, how to keep them, and all those kinds of things. Again, whether it's one or whether you need to replace the whole staff or, whether you want to go big or whatever, you cannot do this alone. You've got to have people to help you, and most people fail when it comes to hiring employees.
I totally agree, and I get the same type of feedback from people. I observe it in my own businesses, the people that I help and work with. Business is a team sport, right? I mean, you're not supposed to be a lone ranger out there. And if you are a lone ranger by choice, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not a good feeling, because I lived that for many years, and I know a lot of people do. And our businesses are supposed to serve us and serve our families. And like you always say, we're not supposed to be a slave to our company. And really, the core underlying backbone of getting out of that is assembling a team and driving the culture. Tell me a little bit, what's the difference between a leader and a manager? Because I think there's some confusion there.
Yep. So a manager is all about processes and systems, and those are important. But a leader develops people. And I'm telling you, if you can learn how to develop yourself, the toughest person to lead is yourself. Everything rises and falls on leadership, but the toughest person to lead is ourselves, to get out of the way and develop ourselves personally, and then to help other people get what it is that they want. The thing that people miss is they don't think about the goals of that employee. So how do you help your employees reach their goals so they'll want to help you reach your goals? And so leaders develop people, and that might sound scary to you, like, hey, I don't know how to develop people. Well, it's really not that difficult. John Maxwell says that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And the way that you get influence in someone else's life is by adding value to them. Zig Ziglar said you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what it is that they want. So it's really about simply supporting people, helping people, encouraging them, and learning about your own gifts and learning about other people's gifts and the different kinds of people that they are. You got to study people and building a strong relationship with them, you see. And so it's really just helping them get what they want, encouraging them, and then learning how to hold them accountable and how to be accountable yourself, And so it's really not that difficult, and that's what I'm going to share and just show the audience a few simple techniques of how to bring on a person, how to communicate with them so that they'll do what you want. I mean, I've had every kind of employee problem in the world. I remember when I first started, I just didn't understand this whole thing. Guy didn't show up for work, Josh. I was young. I was in my 20s, and I went over to his apartment, and I banged on the door for 30 minutes because I knew he was in there with his girlfriend. I knew he was in there, And, I wouldn't do anything like that. But I got so frustrated. I was just so upset with employees. I've had people steal from me. I've had people go into business against me. And that's what everybody's afraid of. But I'm going to show you how to avoid all of that, where people will love to follow you. They'll love to be on your team. But it starts with you. You got to change before you can get the right people on your team.
Oh, I'm so pumped up. I have goosebumps right now. And I'm not kidding. I'm serious because, there's so much to unpack there. But everybody underneath you is always going to do exactly what you do, except a little bit less, right? So having ourself at a high level, it's got to be where we got to start. Like you said, learning to lead ourselves. A lot of guys won't get out of bed early enough to even have a chance to invest in personal development, right? So, leading a team. And then the other thing is people want to be part of something. Employees, they want to be caught up in something. They need a story to follow. They need a vision. They need someone to cast the vision. They want to know that they have a seat at the table and that their future goals are part of the plan. And you got to help. There's just so much here, and it's so important. It's so important. And what I wanted to tell you, Howard, was last fall I did a survey of 250 cleaning businesses. And there's a lot of questions, but the first question was, what is your biggest struggle? And by a huge margin, it was employee issues. And it speaks to the things that you're talking about. I've been stolen from. I've had people come to work drunk. I've had key employees be in jail from a DUI during the morning of important jobs. Those things can happen. But you can't let it prevent you from building the business of your dreams, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that if you approach it right, and I've got great news for those guys who have employees, I'm going to show you how to get them to do what you want, how to, improve the culture in your company. The fact is that once you start doing this right, you very, very rarely have those kinds of issues, So I'll help you avoid all those issues. We've got such a phenomenal team. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to reach the goal. But here's the thing. You got to ask yourself a question. You got to look in the mirror and you got to say, do I have big dreams? Do I believe that I can grow? Do I believe that I can reach those goals? So many guys have just, resigned themselves and said, well, I'm not going to have employees. I did that before. It's a hassle. They rip me off, whatever. But the thing is that, you're giving up your dream. So if you have a dream, but no team, you got to build up the team or give up the dream. And I don't know about you, but I'm not giving up my dream. And the most gratifying thing that I've ever done in my life, in fact, you guys are going to meet Santiago if you haven't met him before. He's my right-hand man. He started with me when he was barely 18 years old. He's 33 now. He teaches all my courses. The guy is he's going to be speaking on referral marketing, which is huge. And the guy can, run all my companies for me. And so you got to find people like that are hungry to grow, that are young, that want to be developed, and they want to do things right. And they are out there. I've got a marketing director. Her name is Aliki. She started with us when she was in her 20s. I've got a guy who runs my $3 million service company, the operations part. He came to me when he was 19. He's 30, I think 31 right now. And so you get them when they're young, you develop them, and I'm going to teach you how to do that at the convention.
Well, that's really exciting. I know it's going to be applicable to everybody there, whether they have a big team or a small team. Having a good group of people around you is the answer, no doubt about it. Howard, I love your energy. I love your insight, and you're dropping value all over the place. So why do you think people should even attend this convention? Because I get emails sometimes, well, I can't afford it. It's a couple $100. I can't do this. I can't do that. It's impossible. What aren't these people understanding? Because the value is so immense. Why do you think people should attend?
You can't afford it because you haven't been to these kind of events. And if you've been to these kind of events, and you still can't afford it, you're not applying what you're learning. Let me give you the greatest life lesson that I've ever learned right here. Greatest life lesson, bar none, that I've ever learned. Get around people who are already doing what it is that you want to do. So whatever kind of business you want to have a business like Josh's business that he sold, learn from Josh. He's got his whole systems that you can apply that's in your industry. And that's why I follow Zig Ziglar and John Maxwell and Michael Gerber. And I went and spent big money to get close to those guys. It doesn't matter how much money you spend, because if you find somebody that you can model, whether it's spiritually, whether it's a health coach, you got to find somebody healthy that can help you get healthy. And there's no one succeeds alone. There's no highly successful person on the planet that doesn't have coaches, that doesn't have advisors, that doesn't have mentors. And the thing is that's what you get when you go to those places, is find proven systems, go back and implement those systems. That's why you need a coach, because you're not going to implement them on your own. So if you can't afford it, that's exactly why you need to be there, is go get around successful people that are already doing what it is that you want to do. And if you're going and you're not implementing, then you got to take a look at yourself and find out why you're not implementing, and engage in some kind of relationship that'll help you to implement what you learn. Don't go up there and get in the good old boys club and stand in the corner and talk about, everybody else and blah, blah, blah. Listen, put your big boy pants on and get up there and build a real business. I did it. You can do it. Josh did it. Plenty of people have done it. Go do it.
That's right. And a lot of people, Howard, they're perpetual learners. They're continuous consumers, but they don't execute on stuff. They don't. Well, I think you call it. God, what did you call it last time I interviewed? Failure to implement, right?
FTI, failure to implement. And the reason is that we don't train ourselves in business. We're not organized. We're not inspired. And we don't have any kind of support.
Yeah. Yeah, the networking, what the number one answer I got from some of the other presenters that I've interviewed so far is the networking is what it's all about. Getting around like-minded people in real life, shaking their hand, going and getting a burger at lunch with them, talking to these people, finding people who are further along than you are and picking their brain. It's a completely different animal than going on an internet forum and typing a question. I mean, there's real relationships forged at these events. Real lives are changed at these events, and that's not an understatement at all. There are lots of stories specifically just from the huge convention where people have turned everything around, from listening to people like Howard, from learning from people like Chris Lamborghini's, and all these people who have done this stuff. It's an amazing thing. You don't want to miss Howard. The guy speaks all over the world, guys, and for a small little investment, you can come see him and a whole bunch of other people. Invest in yourself. I hope to see you all there. Howard, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
My pleasure, Josh. And anybody who comes up to me at the convention, any question you have about your business, I'm happy to help you and answer it. And Josh, you're exactly right. That's exactly how I did it. I started going to events like that, started learning, getting around other people that were farther along, taking notes, asking them questions, building friendships. That's exactly what I did. So thank you for that.
We do not have to reinvent the wheel of success. We need to model. Nope. We have to model what we're standing on the shoulders of giants already. And with the internet, there's so much information everywhere. It's amazing. So I almost forgot, Howard, how can people connect with you if they have a question ahead of the event or before time? Should they go to your website, an email? What's best?
Yeah, howardpartridge.com, and you'll get all my free email tips. And I have a 6-week course that I do. You can get the first session for free. Check it out and see if you like the rest of it. And once you get on that course live, you can ask me any question that you like, or you can just see me there at the convention. And Santiago will be there as well. And, of course, Josh will be there. Come up to all three of us. Ask us questions. That one question that you ask of your biggest challenge can change everything for you. Yep. So, take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Hey, have a great day, Howard. I'll talk to you very soon. Let me ask you a question. Are you even remotely considering going to the huge convention this year? Well, if you are, I've made a special deal for Quick Talk listeners. You're going to save $50 off the ticket price. Now, everybody else is going to pay normal price, but not you. Go to thehugeconvention.com/Quick Talk and you save $50 right off the price. Now, remember, this is not a cost, okay? It's an investment. This event is absolutely incredible. The second thing I want to announce to you is the new release of the Growth Vault. Now, the Growth Vault comes from all the requests I get from people wanting coaching and training, and how do I get this webinar and this teaching you did 6 months ago, and what about these special interviews you do, Josh? I want to learn. I want to grow my business. I put everything into one repository. It's totally free. There's no cost. Go to thegrowthvault.com. There's loads of content on business building, automating, scaling, and building a business that you could sell. Check it out right now. Completely free. It's my gift to you. Thank you so much. Hey, thanks for hanging out, friends. And from all of us here at the Quick Talk podcast team, we hope you loved today's show. We hope that you were inspired to become a doer and not just a listener. Apply what you've heard today in your own business and watch things change for the better. Lastly, remember that all the money in the world can't save your soul. Seek first the kingdom of God, my friends. We'll see you next time.
For more information about the Quick Talk podcast or Joshua's other businesses, visit our website, quicktalkpodcast.com. Have a blessed day.